Nissan in-game live. Ron Jaworski. I'm Michael Barkann. We were going to re-rack last week's first half Nissan in-game live on the Monday nighter. But Jaws, this is 2 straight weeks. We talked about a trap game. How about a crap game? Terrible from the Philadelphia Eagles. Where do you even start?
Michael, we got them right where we want them. The third straight game we were behind big time at the half. I don't know how much gas we have left in the tank right now. I mean, it was a tough Monday night game in Kansas City, a physical, violent game. You travel back, probably don't get to practice till Wednesday, short week, a very good Buffalo Bills team, and a hot Josh Allen, or you can see Josh Allen's an NFL quarterback and a damn good one. But we didn't show up once again. And we did not show up. The quarterback has not shown up in 2 straight weeks in the first half. Now he's dug in a hole for himself right now, and crazy inclement weather. He's got to dig out of that hole. This is going to be tough. The Buffalo defense is playing good. They're controlling the ball. The numbers are just crazy. 19 minutes to 11 minutes, yardage 276 yards for Buffalo, 99 yards for the Eagles. I mean, they just haven't shown up for this game. It's that simple. Now, as you said, what are they going to do? Well, they get the ball to start the second half, so that's one good thing. But we got to see how they're going to handle that. But right now, I'm not feeling confident.
I'm going to go to your plus-minus statistic because they gave up the ball 2 times. Think about a 17-7 deficit for the Eagles, and you take away those 14 points, which came as a result of turnovers, and you've got an Eagles 7-3 lead. Now, they should have scored more points. I'll grant you that, but you can't be turning the ball over like they did.
No, sooner or later, it catches up to you. Going into this game, we were -1. In other words, we've turned the ball over one more time than we've taken it away. In the NFL, you lose 71% of the time if you're -1 or better or worse. And we escaped them. We escaped games that we were minus, and eventually it catches up to you. This is the National Football League. Yeah, you could beat some of the garbage teams by turning the football over, but you're not going to beat the quality football teams, and the Bills are a quality football team. So when you're careless with the football, and Jalen was careless with the handoff, he was.
What's supposed to happen on that game? Gainwell had no clue. So if he thought that ball was going to him,
he tried to hand it off. Then Kenny got in front of him. They tried to reach in front of him.
Kenny was blocking.
Started to block. He tried to give him the football. So to me, that was purely on Jalen. The way it happened. It's crazy. I'll give the Bills some credit too. They got some pressure. They forced Jalen out of the pocket. Forced some errant throws. Took him a while to get A.J. Brown involved in the game, but late into the second quarter before he caught a ball again. And here's your guy that's been your go-to receiver and the guy that's been the guy that incites this offense, and he hasn't been opportunities to do that. But I actually thought the offensive line held up fairly decent. We thought with Lane Johnson out there might be some issues, but they've held up all right. But again, I think they've abandoned a run, which is normal. It seemed,
did they give it really enough? They didn't have the ball enough. You mentioned time of possession.
Never had the ball enough. They had one rushing first down, so at least he's got one of those in. But and by the way, Buffalo had 10 penalties.
Yeah, even with that,
and Cook drops a touchdown pass. Again, we're looking at a whole other score here as well. He's going to run the wheel route. He drops the ball, would have been an easy touchdown. But it's a big hole to dig out of for 3 straight weeks in a row now where we've been down big at the second half, going into the second half.
Yeah, to me, the big statistic is third down, where the Bills were 6 of 12 on third down. It allowed them to keep drives going. It allowed them to keep the Eagles' defense on the field. The Eagles, for their part, were 0 for 4 on third down. You got to make those third down conversions, but the Bills really did it. And when you look at what the Eagles' record is coming in with 10 or more point deficits, and they're 7-0, I really don't have a good vibe going into the second half. Now, we didn't last week either.
I know. I'm not going to quit on them, but they got to wake up at the half. And by the way, you said 0 for 4 on third down. And I've always said third down is the money down in the NFL. You either stay on the field or you go sit on the bench. 0 for 4. We're broke right now. We're broke.
Yeah.
It's not the money down for the Eagles right now. They're broke on third down.
So when you look at the Eagles pass attack, and grant you they should have run the ball more, Hurts has 7 carries, and after that, they got 7 carries by Gainwell, Scott, and Swift. And 11 pass attempts. His passer rating, Jalen Hurts, is a 7. That would seem to be impossible. But when you look at the pass game, you look at Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, And then you look at the Buffalo receivers. I'm thinking, shouldn't they be able to do this, or is the Buffalo defense just too tough?
No, Buffalo has a solid defense. They're nothing to write home about. They're just that's been their Achilles heel in a lot of games. But you mentioned number of plays. I mean, the Eagles had 26 plays. Buffalo's had 48. And that means that defense is a little bit tired.
Yeah,
it's wet. You're slogging around out there carrying that heavy uniform. The pass rush, except for Hassan Reddick, has been non-existent. Hassan's had a really good first half. He's getting pressure on Josh Allen. But other than that, he seems to be the only guy making a play.
Yeah, that was a horse collar or no?
Oh yeah,
on that.
It was
what's a little horse collar between friends?
Little horse collar.
Come on.
It was a torn shirt in the front and a horse collar in the back.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
And the Eagles are getting away with 10 penalties against the Bills. 10 penalties. I mean, that's a ridiculous amount. You got to believe there's going to be some evening out in the second half, so I'm a little leery about that.
Well, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but the Eagles have a lot of overcoming to do. 17-7 down to the Buffalo Bills. They're looking for their 10th win of the season. Barrett Brooks has you after the third quarter. Jaws and I and Barrett and Ruben Frank will be with you when the clock hits 0, talking about a huge Eagles
they
win.
come from behind.
They've done it
the first half,
7
second
straight
half.
games.
Look out.
You know it. What, me worry? Come on. We'll see you after the game.